If I had to start dropshipping completely from zero, knowing everything that I know now, I would not do it the same way that I started. Not even close. I wouldn't waste time chasing just random TikTok trends, and I definitely wouldn't test products the same way that I used to. So today, I'm breaking down the exact blueprint that I would follow if I had to rebuild everything from scratch. Follow along because every single part of this tutorial connects. If you skip one, the whole thing's gonna fall apart. So let's go ahead and get into it. And we're gonna start with phase one, the product filter. It's essentially the foundation. So before anything else, I'd start with my product filter. This is the part that most beginners rush right through, and it's exactly why they fail. They start with the wrong product, and everything after that becomes pointless. So if I had to start over, I'd be way more strict here. The first things I would eliminate instantly are the same things that beginners keep falling for. Oversized items that cost a fortune to ship, fragile items that can potentially break before they even get delivered, anything that's copyrighted, anything that's branded, and anything that really screams, this is gonna get me banned. And definitely anything that's high ticket that looks attractive, but really drains your budget before you even get a chance to test it out properly. And then I'd shift to the things that actually matter. I'd focus on problem-solving products, emotional products, or evergreen products that people buy constantly, no matter what month that we're in. For example, pets, beauty, baby items, gifting, home improvement, hobbies. These categories are safe, they're stable, and buyers don't need really much convincing. I'd look for real reviews, real demand, and most importantly, a product that naturally gives you at least 3 different marketing angles. If I can't come up with multiple angles right away, I'm not gonna be testing it. To find them fast, I'd use a curated hub like, let's say, the AutoDS handpicked product section, so I'm not scrolling for hours on TikTok or on AliExpress. Then I'll cross-check reviews with other suppliers, search TikTok and TikTok Shop to confirm that people are actually buying these, and I'd order 1 sample. Now, if the sample sucks, it's gone. Simple as that. Now, this filter alone solves at least 50% of the problems that beginners are running into. All right, so phase 2, the supplier reality check. Once I have a strong product candidate, the next thing that I do is simply look for my supplier, because your customer's experience has nothing to do with your store and everything to do with your supplier. So if the supplier ships slow, you're the one that's gonna take the blame. If the supplier packs it poorly, you're the one that's gonna take the blame. If the tracking doesn't update, guess who's gonna be blamed for this? The supplier? USPS? No, you. So if I were starting over, I'd audit my suppliers way more aggressively. I check how they ship, how consistent they are, whether their tracking actually updates, and whether their reviews look real, bot, or AI generated. I'd also pay attention to communication. This is huge. If they take forever to respond, that's a huge red flag. I'd order a sample from every supplier that I'm considering if I have the means to do so. Not just to test the product, but to test the entire buying experience. And from there, I'd gauge how long did it take, was the packaging decent, did the tracking actually update, and that's really gonna tell you everything. And just so you know, AutoDS has vetted and private suppliers that really help cut down all of the guesswork. But I'm not relying on any just one thing here. I'm just making sure that the supplier isn't the reason that my business fails before it even starts. Now, this one decision, choosing a reliable supplier, can save you months of frustration. Which leads me to phase 3, the store foundation. Now, let's talk about the store, because this is where beginners start to lose insane amounts of time. And trust me, like, you just start to obsess over the smallest things. If I were starting over, I wouldn't spend 2 hours just tweaking the colors of a button or the font. I wouldn't obsess over all of the different themes and which one is best for my store. And I definitely wouldn't spend a week trying to make the homepage comparable to something like Apple. In 2026, speed matters more than perfection. I would build a clean and simple store that loads fast, looks modern, and gets straight to the point. 1 or 2 brand colors, no unnecessary pages, no flashy animations, nothing that really is going to be distracting the buyer from the product itself. And for this, the easiest way to get started is to use an AI store builder, like the AutoDS AI Shopify store builder. So that way you can get your entire store set up quickly and then tweak it afterwards. So the goal here is to get started testing, not to spend forever decorating. My product page would lead with a strong first line, then move straight into the problem that the product solves, the benefit and how it improves anybody's life. Then I'd add a bit of social proof, a couple of facts or frequently asked questions, some clear pricing, and a clean call to action. Remember, this isn't about beautiful design. It's about clarity and confidence and trust. Your store doesn't make sales, your message does. So on to phase 4, the marketing engine. Now we get into the part where most people start to just essentially break down or fall apart because they freak out and they don't know how to do this. And that's with the marketing. If I had to start over, this is where 80% of my focus would go. Because the truth is, most people don't make any sales because their marketing sucks.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
Not because their store sucks, not because dropshipping is dead, and not because the product is bad. They just don't know how to show the product in a way that makes people actually care, or in the age of doom scrolling, stop the scroll. So if I were starting again, I'd test multiple hooks for every single product. And that's why I said, look for products that have 3 marketing angles naturally. Now, just as a few examples, you have point of view hooks, story hooks, problem and solution hooks, friend-to-friend recommendations, transformation angles, and really just fast visual demonstrations. I'd make different versions, test different ideas, and keep posting until something actually sticks. One angle can completely change a product's trajectory. And then once you find that angle, keep going with that. I'd also use AI tools like, let's say, Nano Banana from Google Gemini to create better images and upgrade the quality of all of my creatives. Clean images are always going to convert better, and better creatives are going to get higher watch time. And higher watch time can potentially lead to more sales. Marketing overall is the game, and everything else is what's going to support it. Now, phase 5, the testing rhythm. So once the store is live and the marketing engine is moving, the next phase is going to be testing. And this is the phase that requires the most discipline. If I had to start over, I would detach emotionally from every product that I test, no matter how much I loved it or how much I believed in it. Most people fall in love with their first product and refuse to accept that it's not working. That mindset is going to kill your momentum. So the rhythm would be simple. Test small, test fast, and look for early signs of life. If something isn't clicking, I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to dump any more money into it. I'm not going to be hoping that it turns around. I kill it. Learn and move on. I'd keep a pipeline of products ready to test. I track my numbers daily, and I'll let data choose my winners. This is where automation really starts to shine as well. Things like AutoDS handling my order fulfillment, my stock updates, and my pricing changes, so I can stay focused on what actually grows my business. Testing more products and improving my marketing. This phase separates the people who quit from the people who are actually going to win. And that leads me to phase 6, scaling. Now, let's say that one of the products finally starts to show some potential. It's getting sales, ads are responding, content is pushing traffic, whatever the case is. You're essentially seeing life in this product. This is where I would flip into scaling mode. First, I'd clean up my store a little bit more, make it a little bit nicer. Add some better images, some better descriptions, and overall just a more polished layout. I want to look like a real brand now, not like I'm testing a product. Then I double down on the angle that actually worked for my marketing. If a certain story hook is converting, I'd make 10 more versions of that one angle. I'd add bundles, quantity breaks, and simple upsells to lift my average order value. I'd also improve the fulfillment speed wherever possible. Remember, scaling isn't about doing something new. It's about doing more of what's already working and really just doubling down. And as long as I stay consistent with creating new creatives and testing new angles, the product has a lot of potential to keep growing. Which leads to phase 7, the mindset. Now, before wrapping up, here's a part that would have saved me years if I understood it earlier. Don't compare your timeline to anyone else's. This is extremely important. Don't compare yourself. Don't expect your first or your second product to hit. Don't think that slow progress means that you're doing something wrong. Slow progress is progress. And definitely, don't stop posting, don't stop testing, or simply don't stop learning because you're not seeing results yet. Dropshipping in 2026 is about iteration. The people who win are the ones who test the most angles, the ones who test the fastest while staying calm and staying consistent. So if I had to start all over again today, this exact blueprint is what I would follow. Nothing fancy, nothing overcomplicated, just smart product selection, clean foundations, aggressive testing, strong marketing, and a disciplined mindset. Now, if you want shortcuts for product research, supplier vetting, store building, and just automation, Check out the AutoDS $1 trial down in the description below. With it, you're gonna get 2 weeks for the price of $1. But even without it, this blueprint alone puts you miles ahead of beginners. Now, if you did find any value in this, make sure you hit that like, hit subscribe, and comment which phase you want me to break down deeper in maybe a future video. Huge thank you to everyone for watching. My name is Mario with AutoDS, and I'll catch you all next time.